Hey guys, this is Robert. This is the beginning of a new series that I want to try out. Temporarily I'm calling this a relief clinic, but essentially what you're going to get a chance to see is how I work in little 30-minute increments. Typically my sessions are 3 hours long, but for various purposes, including working with Genesis for educational purposes and showing you guys at home how I work in shorter increments. When I work with students, they sometimes need to know how to deal on specific issues very rapidly. So I just put out feelers to get like 3 or 4 people to come in, go ahead and work on them in 30 minutes so that I could show how I work on specific issues. It also just allows my students to pick up information online, but thank you for tuning in. And if you're following me on one social media channel, like for instance, if you're following us on Facebook, but you're not following us on YouTube, some of the information overlaps, but each channel is a little bit different. Snapchat, as we know, is a little bit more private, sort of behind the scenes. Feel free to contact me, ask questions, and follow me on those various platforms. Today, first, I'm going to be working with James. James is a reflexologist here in Austin. He was teasing me because I couldn't remember him from the Time Massage Jam because he didn't say nothing. He said nothing to me over like 2 or 3 jams he was at. So James, you were saying you have problems with your back?
Correct.
And mainly it sounded like low back. There was some issue with you felt numb in one spot. Just give me a little more information about that.
Okay, so tightness in the shoulders, upper to mid back here.
Yeah.
Gets numbness here, but it gets excruciating pain from the mid back down to the lower thigh area.
Okay.
Throughout the glutes and.
Is it more on the right side than the left?
Yes, more on the right side.
Okay. Yeah. And then how long has that been going on?
Oh, probably about a year now, a year and a half.
A year. Okay.
Yeah.
Did it come on for any reason that you know of?
Probably job change.
Okay.
I changed position. I went from a desktop support person moving around a lot to a sitting at a desk.
Oh, okay.
Job.
So yeah. So not a lot of mobility.
Correct.
All right. And then off camera, you had told me typically you'll get to like a 6 or 7 on a pain scale.
Correct.
Like if 10's going to the hospital, 6 or 7 is kind of where you're at.
Yes.
Do you notice, is it better in the morning when you wake up, or is it better after work, or?
It probably gets better midday when I get a chance to walk around, a little bit more moving,
Yeah.
have more activity. I'm looser in the morning times than I am in the evening times when I'm getting ready to go on the wrist.
Yeah. Okay. So generally, it just sounds like when you get more movement, it's better. How is it on weekends?
Typically I'm up moving around, so I don't notice until I actually slow down.
Until you sit, and then it just kind of,
rest and just like tightens all back up on me.
yeah. Okay. So go ahead and just lay down on your back for me. Your head is here, your feet's down towards the exit. And then I'm gonna switch sides, so I get over to your right. Left and right, I can consistently will get confused. I don't know if any of you other body workers have problems with that. They say it's my left side, and they're like, why are you working on my right? And I'm like, what's not your left? I do it all the time. It doesn't matter how long I've worked. Let's see real quick. Oh. How's that there? Not too much? Okay. And then arms, upper back, neck, a little tight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Also, I didn't have my phone set up. Genesis, do you have like a timer on your phone? Or, yeah, could you just set it for 30 minutes so I don't go over? Yeah, I just want to make sure to work on you guys and not lose track. Ooh. James, have you done any yoga previously at all?
Probably not in the last 2 years.
Okay. But you said you used to dance a lot.
Correct.
Yeah. Your body just sounds like you like movement.
Correct. I could be very active. Swimming, bicycling, dancing.
Where I'm pressing right now, how tender is that?
It's the tender was not. It'll be on that 6 to 7 scale. I'm still.
Okay. There we go. Oh, also, you're on camera, so if you want to promote your business and tell them to go follow you on social media, feel free. Like that doesn't tell him you do like, I don't know, do all the stuff you do, man. You were talking about it at length. I was like, man,
Yes.
he's like the one-stop shop for social media and branding.
So with the social media and branding, you can see us on social media, J Knowledge Consulting. That is JKNOWLEDGE Consulting, CULSULTING.com. As well as you can check out our massage and body works with my wife with reflexology at Anointed Hands Heavenly Touch. And you can find that on social media as well as Facebook and Instagram. I can feel this about the neck area.
If you start getting rug burn on your heel, tell me. So when are they going to change the computer interface? I have this conversation with programmers regularly. They got people stuck at a keyboard and a mouse. We don't have technology where people can just stand up and wave their hands around yet?
We do have that technology, but that technology is very expensive for a consumer. So on a personal PC, you'll spend on a good one, the i5, i7 processor with all the bells and whistles between $500 and $800.
Yeah.
With those added technology you're speaking of, you're speaking MacBook prices on top of the equipment you need to actually work it.
Yeah.
So you're saying spend about $5,000 to have that technology.
Yeah.
So it's not cheap enough for our regular consumers yet.
How's that right there on your rib cage?
That's tight right there.
Not too bad?
No, fine.
Okay. And I just check in on pressure. A lot of times when I'm working with clients, I also make a lot of eye contact if they were actually looking at me. Just because what I'm waiting for you to do is go, and if you do that, I go, okay, less pressure. That's all it is.
I'm really pain person. So
Oh, you like intense? Yes.
Very intense.
He's a pain person. That's why, and that was honestly why I didn't call it a pain clinic, because I didn't want to focus on pain. I wanted to focus on the fact that we were trying to help people.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Ooh.
Both. Much loose to this side here.
Both sides. Pretty tight. So a lot of therapists I notice, Genesis, when I work with the students, I literally did not realize this. Massage therapists are not putting people inside lying. Yeah. They're doing prone and supine, so the person is face down in the face rest or they're face up. Sure. And what happens is, like, gluteus medius is more to the side. So when I do this, I almost immediately hook right into that and then just jostle them. So like you're having some low back issues, like I don't know what it is. Gotcha. You know, one of the things I don't have scans. You know, I'll have you in the forms you fill out and everything, give me some basic medical information to make sure you don't have like herniated discs or bulges or anything. Right. But I can't see inside their body. What I do is just work on soft tissue. I just go in and find something that's tight and see if when I help deliver some sort of stimulus that gets it to relax, does he feel better? Gotcha. That's how I base everything. Like on one level, it's very complex. On the other, it's like I mash on people for a living. That's what I do.
Yes, indeed.
When therapists didn't put people inside lying, I was completely blown away because I was influenced by mat-based work, and I started doing more and more side lying because I was changing the position, particularly of their upper back and neck. Like that was always my go-to. So when I would teach a single day like table-based class, the first half of the first day would be on their side, and people would go, I don't understand, like, is this whole class sideline? And then I was like, oh, do you guys not use this regularly? And they're like, no, I don't use this unless the person's pregnant. And I was like, oh my word. Like there's an entire position they're leaving out. In addition, it's not even mat work. I mean, this is where I prefer to work, but the reason I prefer to work like this is my hands don't hurt.
Gotcha.
When you do reflexology, how's it on your hands?
Very tough.
Are you using tools at all?
I use tools.
Yeah, as you should. As you should.
So I basically get my analysis from my hands so I can actually see where crackles are, different areas where the pain areas are, and then I found out what's the tighter areas. That's when I go to a certain tool, roller, maybe a bamboo stick, or something of that nature to kind of work those tight areas out.
Yeah. Trying to figure out a way to work effectively and simply. Like I never had any issue with tools. Like people come to me and they, they make much more fancy like jigsaws with whatever. And it's like, cool. Like, does it work? That was the only thing.
Correct.
When it came to mat-based work, the reason I was particular is like I've worked on you now probably for 5 minutes and I haven't really used my hands at all, other than to like give you some traction and pull. And that was the thing. It was saving my hands while allowing me to work on stuff that people usually couldn't as easily access. They could put people on their side, but even that, I was having to teach massage therapists to use side-lying position because they weren't, for some reason, they just weren't using it. And I also didn't have clients who were complaining. I had clients who go, dude, this is amazing. Why do you do this and other people don't? I'm like, I don't know. Because to me, in the end, it was always about the relationship with you. Like if I couldn't help you out of pain, it wasn't going to do any good anyway.
Correct.
And for me, it was always a challenge. It was like, could I help somebody out of pain and do it in a way that was different enough that stood out? One of the things I did with Thai massage specifically, like somebody was kind of asking me about innovation the other day, like, well, what'd you do that was so different? And I'm like, you ready? Are you ready for the big innovation? What I did was I did Thai massage and pressed a button on a camera. And that was all it took, because people would go, dude, what the hell is this? The guy's using his feet like he's got multiple points of contact. They had never seen it before, but the more video you made, the more normal it became. The more you drew your fan base. How's that on your neck? There.
It's a little tight right here.
The top. So showing people sideline, just continuing the education process, kind of expanding on what the potential was. I still felt like what I teach is fundamentally pretty rudimentary. It's just you're teaching them how to use their legs and feet in a way they're not taught in school. The other portion is I think it really stands out just because it looks so different. And that's part of the advantage I was saying you're going to have Genesis is when we make video and run that through Facebook or whatever forum, people are anxious to see that.
So Facebook chat is working.
Yeah.
We got a comment that says, Christy Hopkins, Kiosi says, so wish I could have come today. Did 17 hours of massage in the last 3 days. I'm feeling it.
And even if I, give 6 hours each day, it builds up where I need some space and more mobility, like yoga, things like that, just to keep myself a little more mobile. But I also feel like I'm distributing body weight across my legs and feet, whereas anytime I did just Swedish and deep tissue on a table, it hurt my hands eventually. I couldn't deliver the sort of pressure that I felt like James needed just with my hands without getting to the point where it was almost jeopardizing me. Go ahead and turn onto your front for me. There we go. Oh boy. Yeah, man, your gluteals. Whew. Just some length. Do you ever do like self-massage, like using like a tennis ball or anything?
Not regularly.
Okay. Whenever we're done, especially if this helps, I'm going to send you a link.
Okay.
And it's just going to be some YouTube videos where I show you how to use a tennis ball to work on some of this. Gotcha. I suspect, just based on what you told me briefly, that pain running down the back of your leg is like your piriformis is tight. Mm-hmm. It kind of pressing on your sciatic nerve. Is it too much pressure there?
No, I'm fine.
Okay.
Pressure doesn't bother.
But yeah, teaching therapists just to work in a different way, it was completely mind-blowing to me that I could press a button on a camera and just record what I was already doing. And people were like, whoa, I've never seen that. I went, what do you people do for a living? Like, that was literally what I thought, and you just forget after a while. Like, my table practice had been influenced by the mat, even when I was working at Dr. Peng's office, doing table-based work, because that was what was socially acceptable. The more I worked on the clients and worked on them, they just went up to the front and went, the guy, the stretchy stuff, whatever that was, I want that again. And once I did that enough, they like, okay, he can put in a mat. But when I first mentioned it, they were like, no facility, because it wasn't like economically viable. Like people weren't asking for it. And that's what I was saying. Like sports massage, athletes know to ask for. Deep tissue, the public has been trained to ask for. But when do they ask for Thai? And that's like a weird marketing challenge. I have noticed that as we're working towards rebranding, we lost the trademark for Reboot, but it actually works because you have no idea what a breath of fresh air it was when I said a reboot. And people said, what's that? And I went, oh, beginner's mind. It was like a vast empty landscape that I could tell them what it was, instead of them having like weird preconceived notions about it's Asian theory, you know. It was like, okay, it's done on a mat. What? You're clothed. What? That don't sound like massage at all. And it was like, oh God, how do you sell something when they don't understand like the parameters? How are we doing right there, James?
You found the tight area.
Yeah, it was a little bit more lateral.
Yes.
Like this stuff was tight, but when I got out here, just a little bit more dense.
Yep.
Yeah. And what I've also learned, James, is that if I use my tuchus and sit on you, people write me hate mail. So I'm going to do like a whole video series where I do nothing but massage people with my butt, just because they write me hate mail and get angry. And they're like, you're going to lose your license. And I'm like, but my clients like it and pay me money. And they're like, ah, you know, they're losing their mind.
Yes, it is.
Right there. So you typically have more problems on the right side, right?
Correct.
Okay, I'm going to focus on that a little bit more. I'm going to bolster you and take your leg out to the side. And we'll see how this works here. Bend your knee for me. There we go. How's that? Is that comfortable?
Uh-huh.
There we go. Too much?
I'm fine.
Okay.
Oh, trust me, I'll let you know if you heard me.
Oh, I'm not opposed. The thing I just check in because it's your edge.
Gotcha.
So if I worked on Rachel with the same amount of pressure, it might be too much. It's always just trying to find the person's edge. A lot of people, when they see me use suspension, they think it's just, 100% body weight. But it's really using suspension to take body weight off just to give you the right amount. How's that through there?
Oh, that's fine.
Good. Now if I bring a knee down, how's that?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'm gonna be a little bit more lateral. Right there, how's that?
I'm good.
Okay. More pressure than that?
You can put more pressure.
Okay, that's what I'm checking for.
I think it's a lot of missing is the pressure.
Defuse, that's Tim, right? Defuse says he needs suspension system.
Yeah, everybody wants a lightsaber. Nobody wants to study fencing. They're like, I want to dig a ditch. And you give them a hand trowel. And they're like, oh, it's going to hurt my hands. And then you give them a shovel. And they're like, oh. And they're like, I want the backhoe. And I'm like, then they're running over people. People are dying. Yeah. They run into a ditch. I'm like, you don't even know how to dig a ditch yet. Like, why you got to jump up to that? How's that right there, James?
Brian says, love the idea of the relief clinic. Great to see how to tackle more specific issues
Ooh.
instead of just going through a routine.
Oh, now you.
Will this be a regular thing?
So, James, you want to do this regularly?
Will I do this regularly?
Yeah.
Yes. Because you just actually hit an area that
Yeah.
I've been hit ever.
Yeah.
And I feel it.
Is it too much?
I'm okay.
Okay. So one of the things I'm having a challenge with is I'm trying to meet the students where they're at. And part of the challenge is if I teach a sequence, they want spot work. And if I teach spot work, they want a sequence. I've done a fairly good job of laying out the basic biomechanics of Thai massage in the workbooks and DVDs we produced. And then we added subscription to go into a little bit more detail. The challenge was, how do I show them how to work on specific issues? Shoulder pain, gluteal tension. So I continue to do that, and what I needed people with the actual problems to come in, which allows James to get a little bit of work on a specific area for 30 minutes and allows me to show how I'm going to address that. Is that pressure too much, James? Good. Do you prefer the jostle?
The jostle hurts a little bit more,
Okay.
but you can feel the muscle moving.
Feels like it accesses a little bit more.
Yes.
Okay. Then I'm going to take just a quick break. Just so your leg can breathe. Yeah. So I don't know what our schedule is going to be. I might potentially build this up where I try to do it once a week for a while, just to build up enough video footage. It's unknown at this point exactly how all of it's going to be used or in what form we're going to portion it out, but I don't have any reason not to continue doing it, especially when it helps people. Yeah. Right there, James, or is it a little more lateral?
Actually, you're almost right on top
Okay.
of it.
If I go
Right
up,
there.
okay. Now, if I change the angle and I sink like down and over, is that better? Or is it just straight down?
It's straight down.
Straight down, okay. You tell me. Right there?
Yeah, because I can feel you like right in the middle of it.
Okay. So when I sink down in the middle of it, is that running down your leg?
It runs to like in my mid-thigh.
Mid-thigh, okay. Is that the pain you came in for?
Yes.
Okay. And then if I hang out just in one spot, sort of static, is that preferred to a jostle?
I prefer the jostle.
Okay, if I give you a little jostle that way?
Yeah.
There we go.
Because now I can feel it on the outside thigh.
Yeah.
And it's run back into that midpoint we're speaking of.
If I'm right there, still good?
Yes.
Okay, now the jostle, if I go side to side or up and down?
The side to side hurts.
So when you say it hurts, you mean do that.
Okay.
Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Okay.
Like,
What do you prefer? Up and down or side to side?
Probably side to side because up and down feel like you're going.
There we go.
To the point on top of it, like it's the bone.
Yeah.
Tight muscle area that's here.
And as
and the jostle's like going over it.
right there, plenty of pressure?
Yes.
Okay. Would you prefer something that was sharper?
No.
Okay. And basically what he's saying is, I want your elbow on steroids, because that's what a knee is. I try to explain this to massage therapists, like when James comes in, and granted, he's coming in for a 30-minute session for this, he just wants me to help him with what he's having problems with. He did not come in and say, where's the incense? Where's the candles? Where's the softened lighting in the Enya? He's like, no, I got pain. Can you get this to go away? And it's like, and then he doesn't care. This is why I excelled more at pain stuff, because he didn't care if I wore a Pink Floyd t-shirt. Like, it just didn't matter as long as I could help him. And being able to work in a different way meant I saved my hands, but it gave him adequate pressure with very little strain on my part. So a little bit side to side, James. There we go. If I change just a little bit right there. Too much?
No, you just went to another area that
There you go.
touch it.
There you go. So this is going to take some time, is my guess, just based on what I'm seeing. It's not something like, a single session would deal with.
Correct.
Now, you want me a little bit higher or a little bit lower? Like up towards the head or down towards the tailbone?
Right, if you go higher, it hurts a little more. But if you go down, you feel like
Okay.
it's pulling the muscle down.
Okay. Do you have a preference if I go up high or go down?
Personally, I probably want you to go down, but
Okay.
that might not be helping my
So
problem.
if I go, no. So here's the thing. When I communicate with you, I don't have any emotional attachment to like how we work.
Gotcha.
When I ask you for that feedback, I'm just trying to figure out what you feel, because what I'm trying to do is engage your nervous system. Is it too much?
No, it's fine. It's when you get here,
Yeah.
that's when it gets that extreme pain.
Yeah.
But there, I feel like it's pulling that muscle down now.
When I give you just enough and you're like, ooh, you let you hang out there, you're like really focused on it, I seem to be able to get the most benefit for people in the shortest amount of time that way. The reason I ask you all those questions about what do you feel, feedback, is because if you said, ooh, that feels like, ooh, that's it, but ooh, it's too much, then I just back the pressure off or like back away from it, from the epicenter, and allow your nervous system to just adjust, kind of recalibrate to what we're doing. It's not about the amount of pressure. It's just about connecting with you and allowing you to get the pressure that you need. You know, I could do this to someone else and they're like, oh my God, this is way too much. And it's like, they think it's always got to be this way. And I'm like, no, I would just sit down and use an elbow. And I could double up the towel so it's not as sharp. Like, I can do it in a million different ways. I just have to have the person be able to accept the pressure that I'm receiving. How's that? There we go. He's like, yeah, it's great. It's everything I've ever wanted a massage. Dang. Right there.
Yes.
There we go. But if you're a good therapist, you take out your phone right now because you got a mirror and you like Instagram, whatever, you know. If your client has signed a waiver, by the way. If I give you some pressure right back that way, how's that?
Oh.
There. There we go.
Now I feel that down through my toes.
Okay. My best guess is, one, you got some tight gluteal muscles. Piriformis is deeper. Piriformis is actually not on the posterior side of your sacrum, it's actually on the inside. What I'm doing is sinking down through gluteus maximus and probably making a little bit of contact with the nerves related to piriformis. A lot of people, when piriformis gets tight, it'll put a little bit of innervation in some form into the nerve, the sciatic nerve that goes down the leg. Okay. So when I press here, it's like they feel it down here. What I'm trying to do is just deliver enough sensation to get these muscles to relax and unwind, so that's not an issue.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Oh, dude, this feels like a totally different side.
Yeah, it's less tight than it was previously.
What time do we got? How long have we been in?
If you have 8 minutes left.
8 minutes, good God. There's a reason the sessions are 3 hours. When I look at, think about doing this stuff at the chiropractor's office, I just laugh. It's like 30 minutes. Whew. How's this, James?
Oh, it's fine.
Okay, feels good? There we go. Big in breath for me. And exhale. How's that?
It's fine.
Yeah, it's been so long since I've done these little sessions. The students who are studying with us online as part of our subscription service seem to be getting a huge amount of value from it. The feedback we get inside is, Robert, this shit works. And I go, yeah, that's why I teach it. And they're like, there's this subtle undertext or undertone of yeah, but everybody else just lies to us. So the people who are subscribed love it. The people who are outside are like, I don't learn online. And every time I hear that, I'm like, not yet, you don't. How we doing on this side, James?
Good.
Good. I don't think this side is as problematic. Do you feel the tension difference?
Yes.
Yeah, from the right to the left? Yeah. But I just want to soften this a little bit. And then the stuff with your upper back and neck, do you feel like you want to move on to that for a bit?
Oh, yeah.
Just because we've done so much. Can you flip onto your back for me? And on both sides, all up here? Yeah, there we go. So it's been interesting to teach people online, realize the capacity we had for video distribution to be able to educate people quickly. And also, it just normalizes the practice. I keep telling those who are subscribed, they consistently make more video than any massage therapist I've seen. And they keep commenting on the fact that, they're getting business or, things are growing for them. And I'm like, yes, when you make video, people are actually able to see what it is you do. It makes a huge difference. How's this back here, James? Is that spot good? Okay, head back for me. There we go. but definitely not going to be as tender as this stuff up here.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, there we go. How's that?
It's fine. Just like one of those chair massagers.
Yeah. You have to have pretty open toes for this. If you can't do this, if I took pillows and stacked this head higher, it takes the pressure off so my toes don't have to bend back as far. But my feet are almost like, I don't know, my ankle and probably toe mobility is like off the charts because I've done this for so long. I just don't want you to do this and hurt your toes or feet. Is it too much back here? Okay. I got you. There we go.
YouTube and Twitch comments are coming through.
Oh, nice.
Shout out to YouTube and Twitch.
So YouTube, let's see. YouTube comments are hilarious because half the time they're from people that don't really like my channel. They're just sort of like, you know, it's like you get, I did this recently to Stairway to Heaven because I'll release a video and then the video will get 7 likes and somebody dislikes it. So somebody actually takes their time to go, I don't like this. So I go find Led Zeppelin's Stairway to Heaven, and it's got like 70,000 likes and like 1,000 people who didn't like it. So 1,000 people on Earth went to a YouTube channel, found Stairway to Heaven, and said, I like this. So I'll usually find the person who didn't like it and like go to their page, or like people, if they leave like negative comments, I'll go back to their page, and it's always like a black hole. It's like the abyss. Somebody's got a YouTube channel, but they don't have any videos, or there's nothing there. It's like, so they're just, you know, criticizing my stuff. And then Twitch is fun because usually I get some kid who's like 13 from Denmark who's going to play Minesweeper, and he somehow wanders into my channel, and he's like, I don't understand what's going on. What is this? It's like,
This is funny because YouTube and Twitch are like, they see their chats, and
Yeah.
the first guy says, I feel like my back needs to be stepped on by fire.
so James, right up here, right at the top,
Yes.
is it too much on either side?
No.
Okay. Is that where the main tension is?
Yes.
So the cervical thoracic junction, and here's what James is dealing with, because he told me he used to dance, very active, likes mobility. That's what it tells me. People who dance really love dance. The people who do not want to dance, do they go dance?
No.
No. Yeah, dancing is pretty much spontaneous. Like my body desires movement and I go dance. So he's used to being active and moving a lot, and now he's working a tech job where he's kind of stuck in one spot. The 2 areas he's having problems with are completely from computer posture. He's having problems in his low back because of just compression and sitting. His psoas and hip flexors are probably shortened. He's used to bending at the waist. And then the cervicothoracic junction, the junction between his neck and his upper back, is this, because he's sitting at a keyboard all day. I have a tendency to try to open up the chest. When I had my feet down underneath, it just allows his chest to passively fall open. And then I'm able to use the balls of my feet right now, like we're in Texas, Kitty making biscuits. So I could just sit down and sort of knead through that with the balls of my feet, so it saves my hands. And then do you prefer pressure on both sides, or do you like the back and forth?
Pressure both sides is fine.
Both sides?
Yeah.
Right there? There we go.
Okay, the pimp in you says, do you crush people with your feet? Because that sounds like fun.
Yes. My work is just shy of dominatrix, basically. Yeah, this is very close to BDSM, but we don't usually talk about that unless we're on YouTube or trying to get massage therapists to write me hate mail. Say, what do you mean massage close to BDSM? I'm like, oh, come on. Every massage therapist I know has got a little sadist in there somewhere. They're like a little bit of pain,
It's been 30
just a little.
It's been 30 minutes.
YouTube says, I want someone to drop a cinder block on my lumbar.
Probably. You might have to cushion the edges though, a little sharp there.
And Twitch loves you.
Nice. Right in there, James?
Yes.
Both sides? Now, for you, if I'm holding pressure right there, what happens if you kind of turn your head to the side, like right, left?
I can feel the
Cool.
muscles here.
Does it feel good?
Mhm.
Yeah. Right there.
It's been 3.
Yeah, I know. I'm just finishing up.
Yeah, just
So if I bring you more to the right or to the left,
I can feel more pull to the left on the left side.
feels good better there.
Yeah, because it's the muscles here.
Yeah.
It's tight.
There we go.
Lisa McCutcheon massage says, "Lucky James."
Yeah.
Most definitely. This is very relaxing for everyone that's actually watching. I've had pain in my back for a number of years, and what he's been working on for me, the areas he's touching here on my feet and my shoulders, it literally feels like an elbow or a bamboo stick actually going in and actually be able to move around in those muscle areas, and it's very relaxing. So I do recommend this.
Oh, James, this is why the sessions are 3 hours. You need more than 30 minutes, man.
Yeah.
Let's, I'm gonna go ahead and slowly slide these out. I got you. There we go. And then I'm slowly gonna have you just stand up. I just want you to walk around just to see how you feel. Just to see like what the difference is from when we started. We did work on that right side a little bit more than the left. So it might feel a little bit imbalanced, but again, it was just 30 minutes.
Yeah, I can feel, I'm not in pain, because when I got here, I was in pain.
So when you got here, 6 or 7?
Yes,
Okay, what's it at now?
I'm gonna say 3.
3.
Yes.
3-point reduction in 30 minutes will get you a return client, trust me. Yeah.
Yeah, not the same pressure that I was having before. I actually can feel my legs. It's
Yeah.
like not a tingle here. The muscles that were tight here are not tight anymore.
Good.
The pain I was having here in the lower back, I'm not having that. Even shoulder area, because we don't have a lot of time, but the area you did work in the middle here,
Yeah.
where my neck area was, is not in pain.
Not in
like it
pain.
was.
Good. Do you have a foam roller at home?
Who?
A foam roller? One of those?
I think I do, but not a wood.
Okay, so I'm gonna send you a link that's gonna have one of those foam rollers you can purchase.
Okay.
The 2 areas you're having problems with are actually fairly easy to work on your own. It's not the same thing as me doing it.
Gotcha.
If we have these in the future and you wanna come out, just pay attention to my feed. I'm happy to work on you again. Also, the reason I was having Genesis in to see how it was working, if you decide you want longer sessions and you want to talk to Genesis about coming to see you, feel free to like talk to her about that outside. When I say outside, I mean outside of us filming on camera. Yeah, you guys can deal business off camera. So I can show you how to work on some of that yourself. It's not going to be exactly the same, but because you're in that same position at work and you can't really change the what do you call that? You can't change the way that you're dealing with the technology, meaning I was asking you about changing the interface. Like you're gonna have to do that repeatedly. It's just a matter of balancing that out when you get home. Using a tennis ball in your gluteals and then a foam roller to work on some of the area in your upper back and neck is probably gonna help deal with a lot of that. The goal long term, I think your pain will go away completely. If you improve by 3 or 4 points on a pain scale in 30 minutes, you can do that to yourself regularly, and I suspect the pain levels will keep dropping.
Okay. Wonderful.
Cool, cool. So yeah, listen, thank you so much. You're welcome to hang out, by the way. You don't have to leave.
Gotcha.
But if you want to talk to Genesis, you can do that. And then I'm going to work on Rachel here in just a second. But I'll send you those links via email.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Rachel, what are you dealing with?
I have low back pain, but I also watch my sister's twins twice a week.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
They're a year old. And then I do a lot of crafting, so I
Okay.
have a lot of
Hands.
pain in my hands.
And then the low back pain is more pronounced?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's much worse than it's been.
Okay.
Since
So, and what's
we've been
going
doing
on?
This for more than
Yeah,
10
but
years.
what's going on with the back pain?
Okay. Well, not today, but I usually have 2 really big knots right here.
Okay.
And
In your lumbar?
yeah, right there.
All right.
Then I'll get some.
And then it's not shooting down your legs or anything?
Not as often, but I'll still get some tendonitis in here.
Okay.
I'm pretty good about stretching it when I'm at the gym, but haven't been in several weeks.
Okay.
The only thing I can't stretch is in
Adductors?
in
Okay.
here inside the
Yeah.
inside
Your skirt, do you have like shorts or anything underneath?
underwear on.
Okay, I'm moving you around on camera. I just want to make sure. Come lay down on your back in the center. Oh, we'll probably start off the same way I started off with James. There we go. And this is how we use our stuff for education. So go ahead and lay back. Oh. So this is one of those things, like, I don't think to tell people to wear certain clothes, but as long as she's okay temperature-wise, I'm just going to cover her with a blanket. How's that? Does that work? Okay. And then on the side that I'm going to work, I'm just going to lift this up so I can get my leg underneath. There we go. So I'm not stuck in your pants there. There we go. Man, you wore some crazy wrap.
I had to match your crazy pants.
My crazy pants. For a long time on YouTube, that was what I got the most comments about. What are them weird pants he wears? Like, I had a school owner, I did a presentation at their school, and when there was a feedback form he gave me, the only low mark he gave me was on my clothing. And I was like, I'm crawling around on a mat, like, I can't wear slacks. Like, what am I supposed to wear? And it's like, you're doing something different, so you need different attire. Also, at the chiropractor's office, because that was where we first met, I used to wear scrubs, and that worked well because scrubs look medical. But then what I did is I would keep the scrub top, and then I would wear like tie fisherman pants with it. And then slowly it became tie fisherman pants with just a t-shirt. So now, even though it looks professional, everybody on the outside could tell that he does something different. Like, he dresses different. There's weird like signatures about that. I remember having conversations with people when I got out of massage school and going, what do massage therapists wear? Because I never thought about that sort of signaling to the public. Like, the doctor is always in scrubs and they got the stethoscope like around their neck. So like, you don't even have to be a doctor, but if you got a name tag and a stethoscope and I go to the store, women flirt with me because they think I'm a doctor and they're hoping I'll make them dinner or something will happen. When I would wear scrubs, that would happen all the time. They're like, are you a nurse? And it's like, no, I'm a massage therapist. But it's like the things that people assume about the way you dress. And these days, what people assume is I don't give a shit. Because normally I got like tie fisherman pants with a torn off pocket and a Pink Floyd t-shirt, at the business meeting with tennis shoes that aren't even tied, just so I can slide them off. But that works for me, It depends on the kind of audience that you're consistently trying to work with. How does that feel in there?
That was awesome.
Okay. Does that feel like it's helping for the low back?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So when I do this, this is really, really common, and I have a hard time teaching this to students. They get very confused. When I'm hooking into the gluteals, I'm not taking my foot in right here. Sorry, did I just drop you too slow? Okay. Was it taking the pressure off, or was it?
Yeah, I was just taking the pressure off.
So I don't have my foot up this way. I'm actually turning my foot to the side because I'm trying to hook into her gluteals behind the greater trochanter of the femur. There's a bony knob right in there where the gluteals attach. And from there, I'm using the gluteals as a handle, but I'm really rocking her sacrum back and forth, and it's shifting the lumbar vertebra. So for people who are having really pronounced low back pain, this can feel really, really nice to be able to get some movement through there, but in a way that saves my hands and then also addresses some of that gluteal tension they feel on the side. Over time, as I lift her up, I can gently sort of toss her and then reach further back, depending on where I think she's holding tension. You can work your foot almost down to the tailbone. The other thing that this did for my practice was, as a male therapist, it allowed me to work on women in a way that felt safe. People have a very different response when you're using your feet as opposed to using your hands. If she came in and she was having gluteal tension and I'm like, oh, okay, and I reach in with my hands immediately, it's too abrupt. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with using hands that way, but she doesn't necessarily have any background for working with me. So you have to kind of be a little bit more mindful, I think, as a male therapist about how you're going to approach those things. I feel like mat-based work gives me a lot more options to choose from. It's not even saying that I couldn't do the same thing on a table. It's just the capacity to use my feet actually saves my hands and works with my longevity. I busted out 30 minutes on James like it was nothing. He dropped 3 or 4 points on a scale just in those 30 minutes. That was the real bread and butter. That was how I got clients, repeat clients, made money, was able to build my own practice, was because I was able to work in a way that was really effective, that solved a problem. If you don't solve a problem as a therapist, I think that's problematic. A lot of therapists I talk to, it's like, well, I do massage. And it's like, great. But the real problem you're solving usually is pain relief or relaxation. And if they would spend more time focusing on the problem And how do we solve it instead of like delivering a massage? Like a lot of people tell me mat-based practice is just not possible. And I'm like, not only is mat-based practice possible, mat-based practice stands out more and allows me to have an event where I'm essentially trying to push clients off on the genesis. Because I can't deal with, the constant onslaught because I only have so many hours in a day. You were probably excited just because it was 30 minutes.
I was.
Yeah, because you'd be with kids and whatever else. So it's a little more challenging for her to find 3 hours in a chunk. Yeah.
But you slowly worked me up from table-based 1 hour to that, 2.5, 3 hour session.
Yeah.
Over your practice growing.
Yeah, you got to see the evolution. A lot of people just, see it from the outside. Therapists still, they're like, what? 3 hours? No, there ain't no way. And I'm like, why? They're like, clients are busy. They don't have 3 hours. And I'm like, so they're not your clients. Like I released a video that I would never allow someone to sit on me. And I'm like, you're not my client. Like if you don't want me to use my sit bones on you, you're not my client. And they're like, I can't believe. I'm like, listen, I went over this math with Genesis earlier. And I tell therapists this, and I'll tell therapists this again and again and again. Right now I charge $80 an hour. $80 an hour is less than what most therapists are charging in Austin, in my experience. They're usually charging rates that are a little bit higher. But here's how I change things. I have you give me 3 hours. Now, in those 3 hours, James has to be peeled off the mat after the 3. He can barely drive. I usually have to give him a Topo Chico or something so he can relax and like cool out for a minute. The other part is, if I had James come see me once every 2 weeks for a $240 session, I've done the math. If I work 4 days a week and I see 2 clients a day and I have 16 regular clients that saw me every 2 weeks, with 16 clients, my practice is completely full and I'll make $100,000 that year. Now, if you don't like the perfection of that 16 number, just make it 100 or 200 people. There's more than enough clients to go around. People are starting to have conversations with me about stretch facilities popping up, like Stretch Lab, Stretch Zone. I guess I could tag them on my social media and see if that annoys them a little bit. Yeah, maybe we could get a little flame war going on or something. I don't know. Some beef, what do you think? Beef? That's good for business, right? A little hatred? A little hater stuff?
Yeah.
So, people were asking about Stretch Zone because now, I've been trying to get massage therapists stretch people for 10 years. But now entrepreneurs has come in from the outside and it's like, ooh, like certified stretchologist. And people are going, Robert, what's going to happen to the market? I'm like, you mean a facility is coming in and doing the work of educating people to the fact that they need to be mobile and be stretched? I'm like, they're going to come to me. They're creating a bigger market for what I do. Because I couldn't get massage therapists to pick it up in enough numbers to penetrate the marketplace. It's like the notion of competition died for me like a long time ago. And it's like, if all I do is mat-based, clothes on. In my culture, massage therapists will pretty succinctly tell me all the time, this is not massage. And then my retort always is like, cool, so I don't need a massage license, I don't need a massage establishment license, and I can hire James right now without massage school and he could do this. And they're like, oh shit. And I go, yeah. So think about it. Let's get better lawyers and figure out we don't need massage regulation at all. Does it just kill you when I disengage?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Training the marketplace. Too much? No.
I think we've been doing it long enough. You can put a hurt on me.
A little bit. Do you need more pressure? No, okay. People will often with Thai massage focus on stretching, and I was more often than not doing mobilization and compression of some sort. So I'd find out where people had a movement restriction and I was delivering some sort of soft tissue technique to see if I could get the area to soften and let go. Then I would sort of mobilize them just to see if something had changed. But very rarely did I take people to end range as a stretch. It wasn't like yoga. Like, I didn't even think of it as like trying to improve their flexibility as much as it was like improving mobility. Just wanting you to be able to move around and not be in pain while you chase your boy. How old is he now, by the way?
6.5.
Whew, man. It's weird when my friends, I see their babies and then it's like, oh yeah, they're dating now. I'm like, whoa, hold on. Like, where did 13 years go? I don't understand. 15 years ago. I don't get it.
Whenever I tell my friends about you, and I tell all my friends about you,
Yeah.
I say it's like getting a massage and doing yoga.
Yeah.
And that with your clothes on, which I think is really appealing to a lot of people.
I think so. I think I'm not lying to you that I went into a facility not too long ago to teach and basically dealt with enough compromise to be able to get in to teach. And I work with the therapist and I go, what are you having problems with? They're like, our hands. And I go, oh yeah, big. So I show them how to work on their hands in an hour. And they're like, oh my God, this is amazing. Oh my God, hands feel great. Oh wow, you know. Then I go, what are your clients dealing with? They're like, upper back and neck pain. So I work with them till lunch. I addressed the two main issues they had in like 3 hours. And then when the thing was over, I talked to someone and said, listen, the basic feedback that you're giving me is that the work I do is exceptionally effective and quick to help people in pain. And like, yes. And you're also telling me that the work is exceptionally easy for therapists to deliver while saving their hands. And I say, yes. And you're telling me that your rebook rate for you has gone up because people are coming back to see you specifically, and you and the facility owner are making more money. He's like, absolutely. And I go, what's the problem? And he goes, well, it's not what they teach us to do. And I'm like, I don't have any answers for you. Like, if you're just trying to enforce some culturally sanctioned way of working when you're telling me what I do is effective and you're making money, if you don't want something that's effective and make you money, go away. How about that? If you don't want to learn work that's effective and makes you money, you're not my student. Like, I don't know how to enforce those culturally sanctioned parameters of what people think massage is. How's it right there?
That's good.
Okay. It's just when I let off.
But
But the thing is, it's not the shifting of your pelvis, it's actually disengaging from the muscle. Okay. Yeah, that to me, James, was like computer work. Because it consistently changes, right? So like the way we use Instagram or something, in 2 years it might be completely different. The interface changes. But when people go, well, but this is not how we were taught to do it. I'm like, dude, we don't just rely on the printing press anymore. I mean, that was great technology, but like we got Kindle now. Like, I mean, we're not even getting rid of the printing press. It's just things evolve. When people in the massage industry refuse to let it evolve because of what their assumptions are about what the public will buy. In my case, I just had to deliver pain relief. And what I figured out was, if I could figure out how to deliver pain relief quickly, they didn't care how I delivered it. Like, you'd be completely, come hang out in a swing. Okay, I'm on traction, pull, all right, put my foot, you know. Like, people didn't care. Like, as long as you could actively help them.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So if I want to, like, say you're doing a 30-minute kind of focus on the pain, and I want to try to actually add some of that to the reflexology, avoiding that not going so deep.
Yeah.
You know, just with the session, because like you said, 3 hours is a good session.
Yeah.
What would we actually charge for something like that, like a 30-minute?
So here's the challenge that I see. I think that a lot of people they may balk if you change the price. And in the beginning, you got to get some practice. Can you put these on for me? Is that possible? Cool. It's going to make it easier because when you sat up like that, you want your spine to forward bend. And I need to move you around more. So I'm going to give you these. If you go into the bathroom over there, you can change. There you go. So the challenge is, if you charge more, when they look at your menu of services, they're going to like go to what they're familiar with.
Gotcha.
And then what costs less, right? So here's what I have therapists do. Like, if Genesis wants to do mat-based work, she works with people. What I'll often have them do is, she'll tell me, you know, I prefer doing the mat-based work. It's easier on my hands. I go, okay, Genesis, listen, just to get you started, how would you feel about doing a 90-minute session for the same price as an hour?
Okay.
Most of the therapists will tell me that works for them. And then here's what happens. All the consumer hears is 30 free minutes of massage.
Understood.
And once they get you to do that 90 minutes, one, in my experience, if you've had some practice, you don't want to go back to the table, and you don't want to go back to an hour. And once you've got them, then you can charge the same amount for your time, but you're getting them to get a longer session, and you're getting them on the mat if that's what you want to do. If you lead with the price, so for instance, if you have like, this is $120, but this is $70. Usually people are going to go with the lower priced item. How you doing there? You okay? Yeah. How did it feel when you got it moved around? Better? Okay. It was just when you unfurled, you were just like, oh, it looked like you were dying. So.
Well, yeah.
What I try to do is get them to remove the price point. Because if you say, hey, this is Thai massage is different, it's on a mat stretching, they kind of like, I don't know, I'm not real sure what this is. So let's see here. I'm going to give you some movement here. And I got microphones everywhere, so I'm going to see if I can do this. How's this right here? Okay. And you said the inside is usually your adductors feel kind of tight?
Really
yeah, right towards your groin.
How
okay.
to stretch it in the gym. I've
Yeah.
never really found a position that doesn't hurt my knees and stretches.
Right there?
Yeah.
Okay. But if they take the price away, I think it's an easier transition. Once they like it, they're like, it's hilarious to me. I get students and they're studying with me online, and they're like, Robert, I can't even get the people to go back to the table. Like, they're consistently telling me, like, wow, I felt like I was wasting money. And that's where massage therapists start to get angry, because they feel like I'm telling them they were sold a false bill of goods. And I'm like, no, this is continuing education. It's maybe a little more advanced. How's that right there? Does it feel like it's getting to the groin towards that? So when I asked her that right then, you'll notice I didn't put my hand more than like 3/4 of the way up the thigh, but because of this length, it's actually stretching towards her pubic bone there. Again, when you're dealing with women, I wouldn't want to go in with my hands much closer than that. If I decided I wanted to go a little bit closer, I could put a towel down so she's got even more coverage to be able to lean in, but I can usually lengthen that and work on it. And if I bring you up towards your shoulder, okay,
So that's it.
there you go.
It goes down.
And I'm going to let this leg come along for the ride. Sometimes if I was trying to focus on the movement through the hip, I could isolate, but I think in her case, I just want to give some movement through her sacrum. When I had her on her back and she shifted where she lifted her knees, she's trying to round her lumbar spine. She might have, just a quick guess, she might have just maybe a little bit of a lordosis, like a little bit of a sway back. Do you prefer forward bending? Yes. Yeah, okay. Oop, I'm going to back off. Bring her up and over. Holy moly. She's holding that leg. There you go. There we go. Now, if I bring you up and over here, how's that? There we go. So here's the other part, James. I think as male or therapists or soon-to-be therapists, having a close-on option is really beneficial. The other part is, like, we're doing this in my studio, but Genesis, you could see, could you go do this at a yoga studio? Could you go do it at a gym? Can you just set up the mat and let other people watch? That's basically what the Thai Massage Jam is. But the Thai Massage Jam is working with James, and then what's your wife's name? DeAndre, that was it, yeah. I thought it was Deanna for a second. I was like, oh, DeAndre. Right there? There we go. So a little bit of tightness in her gluteals. I can just feel that right there. Trochanter's over here. So I'm just leaning in. Having a close-on option and letting the work stand for itself was just a huge portion of what I did, and realizing I could shoot video really changed the way of my promotion. How's this? There we go. So stretches the adductors, right? I've got kind of a shelf with my thighs, because when she's rolled over like this, I'm really scooting my body completely all the way in. And when I pull her off, I'm essentially lifting her body off the ground by pulling her onto my thighs. Are we getting good comments on Twitch? Yeah. Good. Okay.
I'm so glad I lost 40 pounds.
There we go. So back towards the shoulder.
Uh-huh.
There we go.
Oh, yeah.
You too can wrestle women for a living. You can make tons of money working on people.
Facebook comments. So
Yeah.
Anna saying, relief clinic, paid for by insurance, ?
No. So I don't know if you are a massage therapist or just somebody part of the public. Here's the deal. I worked at a chiropractor's office that billed insurance, and what they do is they force me to work in 30-minute or hour increments. They also make the insurance billing so complicated, thank you, America, that massage therapists can't affordably bill insurance on their own. They have to go through a chiropractor. So what happens is, when you involve the insurance company, it means that instead of me helping Rachel deal with her health, now we're having a threesome with an insurance company that doesn't want to pay out. So she's irritated because the company won't pay. I'm irritated because the insurance company won't pay me. It creates this weird circle where I'm going through additional work, stress, and anxiety trying to deal with an insurance company when she just wants the service. It was much easier for me to just go direct to consumer. So here's the thing. I normally do 3-hour sessions. She came in for 30 minutes. The other part is, as my practice grew and I was doing those 3-hour sessions, people said, well, I can't afford it. I'm like, okay, Thai massage jam's $5. And they went, oh, but it's not a full session. And I go, it's $5. What do you want from me? As my class fees went up, students are like, oh, class is expensive, it's $400. And I was like, Thai massage jam is $5. And they went, oh, but it's not a formal class. And I'm like, what do you people want from me? Like, I cannot, unless I get Genesis to do the work or James to do the work or whoever to do the work, like I can't reproduce myself. The challenge was when you're dealing with the insurance company is taking a cut. I would much rather charge her less and see you directly and get rid of the insurance company in that case. Now, working at a chiropractor's office over time, it took a couple of years, I think, for me to work my way in. I did get to the point where, what time are we at, by the way?
You have 11 minutes.
11 minutes. It did get to the point where I was able to do mat-based work in the facility, and they were billing insurance for it. I got you. Is it too much when I move your back that way?
Sometimes.
Sometimes? Okay. So if I have you like this, is that too much?
No.
Okay. It was just a rapid movement. Now, what happens if I bring you out? Okay. There we go.
There's something about the way my low back curves.
Yeah. And we just work around it. The challenge is the 30 minutes was more abrupt. The 30 minutes at that chiropractor's office was really where I found my work, because I was forced into a weird box where I just had to fix it in 30 minutes. So I got really good at doing spot work, but what I really wanted to do was the long 3-hour, was much more transformative. In some cases, like with James, I think because James had such a profound response, I assume he's having muscle tension. The way he felt after 3 hours, I might not have to see him again. And that was amazing to people. The reviews that they left were more pronounced. It sounded like, no, you don't understand. You got to see this guy. The stuff he did. How's this up to the shoulder? It's okay? All right. Hamstring. It's tight. There you go. When I take you over.
Yeah.
Good. She's like, one the extra stretch. How's that right there?
Good.
There we go. And then I'll get to your hands and arms. Is it just from is it knitting you're doing?
Been doing a lot of crochet because we're
Crochet?
going to do the Georgetown Fireworks
So
Festival.
if I call crochet knitting, do people get angry?
Yes, knitting's
Okay.
2 needles, crochet is 1
I
hook.
know there's a distinction. I'm just asking. Like people always like
Because
what
some
is
people only
cross-
crochet and only knit.
cross stitch,
Cross stitch is sewing.
sewing, knitting, and then what's the one with the little tiny thing that you put on the wall? What do they call that?
Macrame?
No, macrame is like baskets and stuff. Makes
Well,
me
it's
think
like
of the
tying
70s.
knots.
Yeah, and then what's the one where they make the little art for the wall?
It's embroidery or cross stitch.
Okay, it is cross stitch. Okay.
But that's like sewing. That's
Yeah.
quilting, and there's all kinds of.
Hey, look, that's all.
It's my thing.
That's like me talking about body work. I'm like, what
Yeah.
don't you mean? You don't understand, mat base, different table.
I'm
like,
really into
I don't know.
glass etching right now.
Glass etching.
Yeah, I love it.
Are the glass etchers like? Are they very tribal about their work and they look down on other people's art forms?
No, I just really like doing it. It's really fun. I got a Cricut, so I get to cut my own vinyl and
Yeah.
make really cool stuff now.
How's that right there?
Great.
There we go. And we get to wrestle you again.
Yeah.
There we go. Back towards your shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Whew. Better?
Mm-hmm.
And then with your arms, is more like right or left?
No, because it takes both hands to do. It's, right in there. I only get a lot of joint pain in my thumbs.
Yeah. Then this joint
Mm-hmm.
or this one?
And the knuckle.
And this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Really bad this morning.
Right there. Is it too much where I got the pinch there?
Just one.
Right in there.
Yeah.
Nathaniel DeCarmo says, "Hey Robert, I learned a good deal about stretching and just how the different muscles move about. Thanks for sharing this."
Oh, you're very welcome. Very welcome. Yeah, I really feel like with Trent's help, this is really just the beginning. We're still trying to organize how we think it's going to work best to shoot content and information to be able to share with people. It's interesting to me to have done all we've done over the years. We did 700 pages of sequence manuals and 9 DVDs called Time Massage. Then we moved on to the subscription service, which has 350 hours. We're still releasing a video a day on Facebook and YouTube, and then we're trying to figure out how to push further. Like, it feels like I can do more in the next couple years than I've done the entire previous portion of my career. It's just tender there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh. Now, my foot only covers about half her arm. How's that?
Okay.
There we go. You prefer towards the wrist or towards the forearm?
Equally so.
Equally? Okay.
A YouTube comment asked about merchandise. Do you have any merchandise?
Merchandise. So I think the links are there on the video. We got workbooks and DVDs for sale. I don't have like t-shirts yet, but we just ordered some for the Time Massage Jam, including stickers. Whenever those are available, our Shopify store should launch, oh man, hopefully within a month. So those will be available. But the workbooks and DVDs, the subscription service, the link should be on the video here so that you can click on that and subscribe. The subscription service is $7 a month. The retail packages are, however you want to pay for them. How's that right there, Rachel? Can you close your hand into a fist?
He's looking for some Prana Sutra pants. Are my favorite men's yoga pants.
I will be happy to get whatever yoga pants and put my logo right on your keisters, sir, to help promote for the good of humanity. We just have to get there. We'll probably wind up with Thai fisherman pants at some point. We don't have those yet. We went with t-shirts and stickers first. We'll have to see what other merchandise. We talked about bongs, panties, beer koozies, you know, whatever it is people buy that you can stick a logo on. I felt like it was like, was it Spaceballs 2, The Quest for More Money? Was that it? Merchandising. You remember that?
Not my thing.
You don't remember? Spaceballs? You guys know what I'm talking about? It's not, okay, yeah. So in Spaceballs, like the Yoda character or whatever, who I think was played by Mel Brooks, he was talking about like merchandising was Spaceballs 2, The Quest for More Money. So tinglies in the fingers a little bit. Okay, it's not uncomfortable. All right. And then if you'll notice here on camera, I don't know if you can see this as well. He might be able to bring that guy over so you can see real quick on the hand. It just goes really pale. She was getting some tingling. So slowly what I'm going to do is back off, but you should see the hand change color as I back off, as the blood rushes back in. There we go. A little better? Mm-hmm. There we go. I'll come over here. But yeah, different merchandise and things like that. I also am not a person who buys a lot of stuff. I don't know if you can tell by my fancy wardrobe, but we'll have to look at that over time and just see what people like and what people are looking for.
Request for a lunchbox and a flamethrower.
Yeah, oh, Spaceballs, the kids will love it. The kids will love it.
Then Barry Armstrong on YouTube says, "Hi, I'm from England. Been watching your videos for a while. Now as a male Thai therapist too, love your work."
Hey, thanks so much for the comments. If you are in London, Patrick James, Patrick Chris, Max Strength Holistics, you can find him in London. He and I talk really regularly across the pond, being a therapist there in London, doing more Asian influenced work. James does a lot of, Patrick does a lot of Tuina that's infused in his work, so there's some similarities. But helping therapists work generally is great. I think there are advantages for men and women, but I've also been surprised at the number of guys who've contacted me because they're incorporating pieces of the work. How's that right there? There we go. Not too much. Mm-mm. It's more tender right there. That little clunk, is that your elbow?
I think it's actually my wrist.
My wrist. Okay. Is that too much pressure right there?
Nope.
Just tender?
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Beer glasses.
Beer glasses. Hey, I'll do that. I'll totally do beer glasses. Shot glasses. There we go. See?
Tell them get enough requests and we'll get it done for you.
Kombucha jugs.
Kombucha jug. There, see exactly. Yeah. How are we doing time-wise?
Oh, almost done.
Okay. How's your low back?
Better.
Does it feel better just on that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So one of the things I did want to point out is she, her main complaint was low back pain. You'll notice I didn't have her prone at all. In her case, normally in a longer session I would at some point put her prone, but a lot of therapists will work the paraspinal muscles to try to help low back pain. Whereas I don't really think that's where it's coming from. If anything, I think it's more down in the hips and the pelvis. So I'm mobilizing the hips and the legs and all this connection here to be able to address lumbar spine pain. Whereas therapists who are just focusing on the paraspinals will get very little relief. This seems to be, in my experience, much more effective for people in pain, like in a much more rapid way. So that's too much pressure there. Okay. Do you prefer if I go up towards your elbow or turn towards the wrist? Towards the elbow, okay. There you go. And again, you could probably see from the camera, her hand goes pale. She'll probably start to get little tingles. Yeah. Just from circulation being cut off temporarily. It just forms what I tell people is a tourniquet. And then I'm slowly going to back off. You'll probably notice some of the color change in her hands.
if you guys want to follow us on Instagram, you get kind of a more personal look.
There we go. Not too much on your shoulder?
No.
Okay. Big in breath for me. And exhale.
Instagram is Robert G Wellness 12.
Again, shoulders okay?
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Big in breath. And exhale. Whenever I put people on their back and she pulls her knees up like that, especially at the beginning of a session, that almost always tells me that they prefer to forward bend through their lumbar spine. I'll tend to accentuate some of that movement during session, so instead of back bending them, I'm forward bending them since that's what they prefer. How's that there?
That's awesome.
Yeah. See bumper stickers, t-shirts, towels.
We can do hats. We can do
Hats. Yeah, see, I don't ever wear a hat, so I never think about it.
We can do beans.
Oh.
Think people buy this stuff?
We can do sweatshirts.
Oh.
The products are unlimited.
Yeah, I was really surprised. The Tommy Size Jam has been running forever, and I announced, hey, we got, t-shirts. And they're like, oh my God, I want, a black one with a V-neck and a this color. And I'm like, whoa, I had no idea. I had no idea merchandising was so, huge.
Robert, you don't have to worry about it anymore. You got me.
Right there. Is that running down your arm?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Where to?
All the way to my finger.
Pointer finger?
Yeah.
Not to the pinky?
No.
Okay. And I'll ask her for feedback on that just because I try to find out what people feel referred pain. Just because if somebody comes in and says, yeah, I got pain, it goes down this finger, this my first thought is that it's their anterior scalene. Oh, this side. Right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right there.
Mm-hmm.
Down the arm again?
Oh, really bad down my shoulder.
Okay. Back of the shoulder blade?
No, down the back of my arm.
Back towards tricep.
Mm-hmm.
And then is the stop at the elbow?
Mm-hmm.
And runs down again?
Mm-hmm.
Any different this time?
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm. And how we doing on time, Genesis?
It's been 30 minutes. Sorry.
Okay. Oh, that's fine. Just a couple minutes past, or?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right there, Rachel, is it going further?
Nope.
No? Okay.
Robert, so for those of the people who just tuned in, what are we doing today?
We were just doing what I called a relief clinic. I just worked on a couple people for 30 minutes to be able to demonstrate how we do some spot work on specific areas. This way the students who are studying with me online can pick up a little more information about how to do spot treatments. This is something I may start doing regularly. We're kind of experimenting with live streaming of video to be able to show off what it is I'm doing in practice and why I think it's important for the massage industry. It's much easier for me to just work on people and press a button on a camera and show you what I do and talk to you while I'm doing it. It seems like the easiest way to get people to understand how I work and why I work that way. It seems to be able to help clients really rapidly, and it also saves my body, so I continue to just try to educate via video as much as possible. How's it feel? Cool? You can stand up and see how you walk around in the pants.
In your fancy pants?
Yeah.
Yeah. Much better.
Good.
Like no knots,
No knots. So when you first came in, like 10 hospital, 0 is no pain. Where we at?
I'd say like a 5 or a 6.
5. Where are you at now?
Most days, like no pain.
Yeah. If you get 5-point reduction on a pain scale, you've got a client. Like that's pretty much speaks for itself. So listen, thank you guys for tuning in. There should be a link for the subscription service if you want to subscribe. There's about 350 hours of my class footage and recordings there. In addition, we have retail packages of workbooks and DVDs for Thai massage that you can purchase. I think both of those links are there, but you can check those out and subscribe. If you're following me on one channel, feel free to go to Instagram or YouTube or whatever other channel and follow me there. There's a little bit of difference on content from channel to channel, even though there's a little bit of overlap. Thank you guys for tuning in, and if you have any questions, just write down below. I'll get to it as I can. You guys have a great day, and hopefully we'll see you again soon.